We're getting reaction tonight from one of the other items included in the budget that will impact thousands of families, a tax rebate for childcare. While it does offer some relief to families, there are some growing criticisms that it does little for those who need help the most.
It just feels so small, so tokenistic, just like something so they can just check that box and say, oh yeah, we've got Ontario families covered for childcare.
Shirley Hudson Hill knows firsthand the hefty cost of childcare. Her youngest daughter is in a licensed daycare full-time, and her 5-year-old is in care before and after school.
$28,000 a year this year. It was $32,000 the year before that, $36,000 the year before that for our 2 children to be in childcare, and for us being able to work. I mean, you can only imagine. You're told to save for university, but no one ever tells you to save for these childcare years, and there's no extra money.
This new care credit would provide about 300,000 families with up to 75% of their eligible expenses for childcare centers, home-based care, camps, and other settings.
The province today announced a childcare tax rebate on a sliding scale for families earning under $150,000 a year. On average, they say it'll amount to about $1,250 per family per year, but that is little comfort for this mother of 2.
Every little bit helps, but it's not a long-term solution. It's barely a short-term solution, frankly. That money isn't going to go very far.
Only families making less than $20,000 a year would qualify for the maximum 75% credit, which amounts to a total of $6,000 per year for children under 7. Kids between 7 and 16 get up to $3,750, and children with, quote, severe disabilities, $8,250. But one economist points out those maximum amounts meant for the province's most vulnerable families are unlikely to be accessed by any of them.
Their limit is actually $8,000, and you can get up to 75% of that, which would be the $6,000. How many families that are earning under $20,000 as an entire family income are going to be spending $8,000 on childcare? It won't happen. So for the most part, that number is a fictional number. There won't be anybody getting the $6,000.
Gordon Cleveland says the rebate will most benefit those who can already afford childcare.
But if you're not able to afford it, you still can't afford it. The amount of assistance that this is going to give you is not going to push you over the line. So the people that really need the assistance the most, those low-income families that are trying to get into the labor force, they're not going to be helped by this. And so for me, that's a massive failure.
Cleveland helped author a report on childcare for the previous government, and there he suggested focusing funding on preschool-age children. He says free childcare for kids aged 2 to 4 would be a significant help for a smaller group of people, but he believes it's a better move than spreading resources thin over a larger group.
A lot of families really need childcare. They like their child to be in childcare in the period just before kindergarten, and so it's very popular, but a lot of people can't really afford it. So concentrate your money in that age range. You'll help all of those families with affordability, make sure it's good quality care, and then the money will actually do a lot.
Like someone's birthday? Hudson Hill agrees, and she'd like to see more focus on creating affordable childcare spots over just offering tax rebates.
We really need a fulsome childcare plan and funding that will create more quality, affordable, accessible spots, because a rebate is great, but if you can't find a spot.
Now, that economist also estimates that this rebate will likely cost the province much more than the $390 million they have budgeted, considering that there are currently about 400,000 kids in licensed daycare, and that number doesn't include those in unlicensed care or families with kids in summer camps who would all be eligible to apply for that rebate.